So this week we are at the Champoeg Oregon State Heritage area and campground. And this is a significant spot in Oregon history. Just off the top of my head, about 1811, canoe for trappers came down the Willamette, and they kind of settled in here. And the Tualatin Indians, now all of this is just off the top of my head. But anyway, in, what does it say? 1860, 1830, when did they do the Congress here? Anyway.
1843, May 2nd.
Okay, so on May 2nd, 1843, they held the first Oregon Congress right here. In fact, we're going to go to the place and we'll show you the exact spot where they took the vote, whether Oregon was going to become a state or not. Really significant area, and that's way before like Salem was the capital and all that. And we're right along the banks of the Willamette River, which is just right over here, and we'll go show you that. So the word Champoeg is derived from the Tualatin Indian name for this area, combined with the French trappers that came, that they kind of morphed the name. Because I don't know, on the sign it started with like a T, but you can kind of make it out. That,
Something like that.
Anyway, it's named like the land of the Wampuk or something like that, which I don't know what that means either. But this is it. Ooh. Pick up after your dogs. So when the pioneers came out here, they settled and made the town of Champoeg. And Champoeg, you could still see where the old town was. The Willamette River flooded this whole valley and wiped out the town. Not once, but twice. They made this in 1943. They made this a heritage site, significant to Oregon. And I guess significant to the rest of the country because that's when we became the 33rd state. So this obelisk right here, this monument, depicts all the names of the men that voted yes. All the folks that voted no didn't get their name on the No, so that's all the people that voted yes, and there's some names on here that are pretty significant. So here's Robert Newell. The Newell house is just on the top of the hill. When the city of Champoeg flooded, everybody went to the Newell house because that was the high ground. And then Burns, they named a city after him. Hubbard, they named a city, and so on. So these are the folks that got Oregon started.
So we've got the Willamette River right behind us, and it runs from the Columbia River all the way down south.
The Willamette River here was in the 1800s and early 1900s. It was the major means of commerce.
Yeah.
And there was riverboats that went up and down the Willamette, and obviously they used it, back in the early 1800s, 1700s even, for fur trapping and game. And obviously it was a major highway for the Native Americans here. So just north up the river is the town called Butteville. Butteville was a major steamboat boat stop, and we went there the other day for lunch, and at the old Butteville store, which was established in 1863. Pretty cool. Yeah, just in case you thought that the Mississippi was the only sternwheeler, boats and stuff, there were sternwheelers that went up and down the Willamette and the Columbia. In fact, there's still 2 of them that are fully operational, and you could take river cruises, day trips.
Yeah, from Hood River to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and then there's one that goes down the Willamette. So, yeah, the sternwheeler Columbia Gorge, and I don't know what the other one name is, Spirit or something. Anyway, Google it. So, along with the Oregon Heritage Site here at Champoeg, they have a really great interpretive center museum and the campground. And the campground and day use area is really phenomenal.
It's awesome.
But this whole park is massive. In fact, we were just talking that if they really wanted to, they could expand the campground by probably, I don't know.
A couple hundred.
Yeah, I was going to say about 150 acres they could add, but they don't want to ruin the heritage site either. But we'll take you through the campground also. But yeah, the museum on site is really, really great. And all you need is a day use permit, or if you're a disabled veteran and you have your Oregon permit, then everything's free here. So yeah, let's go take a look at that. So I can't be 100% sure, and there's no sign, but I think these picnic tables behind me were actually built by Lewis and Clark in the Corps of Discovery. Or it could have been John McLaughlin. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So this marker right here, and they're all along here, they indicate the old streets from the city of Champoeg. So you can't really see it, but there's another one on the other end down there, and you can see them all along this trail where you can see the grid of an actual town. And that is it. The old city of Champoeg was all in here. So that white house over there, that is the Newell house that we were talking about. And then up here is orchard and a kitchen farm and a barn from the original settlement. And these 2 homesteads, this one and the Newell house back behind us now, they were where the entire city of Champoeg retreated to during the flood, and ultimately just kind of moved up into the high ground here in the valley. But the Newell house, which is that house right there, and the settlement that we're standing on were the 2 settlements that were the highest ground, and that's where they stayed. This red building is now the museum and interpretive center. So we have only camped at Champoeg State Park twice. Once was in January, and now in November. This barn behind us, I guess what we've been told is during the summer, they actually have barn dances in there.
Yeah, it's really
That
cool.
if you're at the campground, you can come on up and enjoy a good old-fashioned barn dance. So this is a group site where they can do tenting, or they have electric only for RVs. Plus you get this pavilion with restrooms. So as we drove into the campground, we essentially passed a little area with yurts, and then they have cabins over here, but they essentially have 2 loops, the A loop
And the B loop.
and the B loop. The A loop is closed during the winter time, so not a lot to show you there because it's just a bunch of
Empty.
empty campsites.
Yeah.
And then the B loop, which is where we are now, is made up essentially 2 loops, which is like a couple of little cul-de-sacs. Most of it, except for 8 sites have full hookup. Everything else is water and electric. But there is a nice dump station with two dumps there, along with dumpsters and recycling and all that on your way out. So it's a really nice campground.
It also has a disc golf area.
Yeah, huge disc golf.
And they've got a huge like playground for the kids also. And then there's a big loop, a walking loop.
And the river is like right over here from us. So you're far enough you're about 7 miles off of I-5.
Right.
Which means you don't hear any of the freeway. You're surrounded by farms, and it's a very peaceful and quiet place to come.
Yeah, if you're going up or down I-5 in Oregon.
Great place to stay.
Yep.
And they do offer some services. So they offer firewood and they offer ice here, which is a pay-as-you-go. You just pay at the little kiosk, and then they've got the little hut where you could grab your firewood and your ice. So other than that, great place to come, camp, learn a little bit about Oregon, and or just relax. So, all right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy these kind of videos, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time.